Okay, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. The vote isn't split. I've taken it. I have taken the vote. It's gone. There is no way that the Republican is going to win. How do I know that? I'll ask a quick question. How many people in this room are registered Republicans? Done and done. That's exactly why. Yes, that is why. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed, right? Already I have over half of the people who, he can't win his own people. How in the world is he going to do anything else, right? That ship has sailed. There's no vote splitting. The question is he now taking too many of my votes? That's the reality. Is he taking too many of my votes? Because here's the thing. The best he can get is die-hard Republicans. The best he can get, and that's it. Nobody else. Well, that's the second question. Anybody in this room want to tell me if they're a registered Democrat or have been a registered Democrat? Oh, that's you? Two. Okay, good. Yes. Good. That's awesome. Good. Yes. Two. So, yeah, 2 registered Democrats. I love it. There we go. Another one. So there are many registered Democrats. I love it. How many people have registered to vote but not Democrat, not Republican? Something else. There we go. Excellent. What did I just show? I just showed you that in my event, random event that we set up yesterday. This morning. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, same room. If you've watched my live feeds, I ask that question every single time, and the same thing happens every single time, and it doesn't matter where it is. I get Democrats in the most red districts. I'm talking Franklin County, I get Democrats, right? It's a red county, right? The Bronx, blue county, I get Republicans. It doesn't matter. I'm getting people from all sides because they all want the same thing, to make change in New York State. I'm getting them. No one else can. There's no vote splitting. That's a fantasy. He's taking my votes now. Not just that. People say, Larry, I would, but you just can't win. Well, here's the reality. We just released the poll. And in this poll, I polled at 13%. With 33% name recognition. What does that mean? That means that I have a problem. And that problem is name recognition. That's true. It's a problem I have. But if I can get my name out there, 33 times 3 is almost 100. 13 times 3 is 39. I get my name out there. I get 39%. I win. This is a 5-way race, guys. 30% will probably win this thing. 30% will win this thing. I just get my name recognition up to about 80, 85%. That's a win. So to say it's not a winnable race, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Why? I get independents, I get Democrats, I get Republicans, and more importantly, I get people who don't vote. 60 to 70% of New Yorkers don't vote. And it's higher up here than it is downstate. So they're not voting. Can I ask anybody here want to say that who has not voted in the last 2 election cycles? Anybody here? I don't always get that, but sometimes I do. Okay. But I get people who don't vote, and I get all the rest. You add those together, now we can win. But not just that. I'm using stuff that no one else used. How many people here heard of me on a podcast? Podcast? Yep. You have your hand? Podcast? No. That's okay. No. Heard me on a podcast. That's my point. I'm the only guy using podcasts. No one else is. That's my point. I'm the only guy using Facebook. Yes. Have you seen Cuomo's Facebook? All day long, yes, he's attacked. He posts something, whatever he posts something, and underneath it, all you see is, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. That's all, you know it's true. That's what he does right now, yes. Now, I want to ask you, is there anybody here, and I have to ask this question because it happens so often, is there anybody here who is a registered Republican and was banned in some way, shape, or form from some form of either the candidate or the party's social media? Anybody here? You got banned. Yes, okay, yes, there we go, yes. Yes, there we go, you did, exactly, yes, you got banned, yes. And why do I ask that question? Because that's the Republican social media. Bans you when you say things they don't like. So Cuomo's is just, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. And the Republicans is, oh, I don't like you, banned. And you're a registered Republican. They are pushing out their own people. So yeah, you saying I can't win? I can absolutely win this thing, 100%. The last thing I get is, Larry, you can't win because you're libertarian. And libertarians never win. Oh my God, they never win. That's true. The last 3 libertarian gubernatorial candidates combined did not raise $10,000. I'm pushing $500,000. Yes, I'm pushing $500,000. They did not combined raise 10,000. I'm pushing $500,000. The last 3 gubernatorial candidates combined didn't make as many stops in this state that I make in 1 month. And I've been doing this for 12. Not just that. No other candidate has crossed all 62 counties. I have. I'm the only one that's touched every single county. Only me. This is not your daddy's Libertarian Party. This is a winnable race. This can be done. So I don't want to spend too much time talking. I want to spend more time answering your questions and dealing with issues that you care about. But as a good general rule, let me explain a couple things. Number 1, I am all about one important thing. Happiness. I know that sounds crazy, but I want to say it. Happiness matters. I need us to understand we've got to be happy. Happy New Yorkers means you stay in this state. This country was built on the idea of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and that's what I want. Happy New Yorkers. Everything I do focuses on that. Why? I'm a business guy. Happy customers means good business. When I'm the governor, you are all my customers. If you're happy, good state. That's what I want. I focus on that. We do that, we win. If you don't, and you decide, you know what, Larry, I don't think I want to do this. I'm going to go back to my old ways of voting Democrat or Republican. Here's what I promise you. No change. No change. Blue team will come in first. Red team will come in second. They go back to sleep. No change. But if you vote gold this time, we have a chance for real change. We have a real shot this time for real change in this state, so our friends will come back home. And I ask you one quick question, if I could. How many people in this room right now know a loved one, friend or family member, someone you loved, who left? Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. This state is so oppressive with such limited opportunities, it breaks up families. We can end that. If you try, we can make a better New York, a happier New York, a new New York. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, I got clapping. There it is. There it is. There it is. I'm sorry, what's your name? Yes is your name. Okay, yes. Thank you so much, yes. I want to take any comment or question that you might have. Is there any comment or question or issue you want to talk about or discuss? Go ahead.
What would you do to keep the people on pensions from leaving the state?
Yes, this is so hard. Oh my God. This is a massive problem. It's a massive problem because we have so many people who are taking their pensions, packing them and going to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arizona, and we are still paying for the pensions, right? Our budget is paying into the pension fund. So they're taking our money and they're giving it to Florida. It's just literally writing a check to Florida, right? It was so bad that Rick Scott actually, in a joke, thanked Cuomo. The governor of Florida, Rick Scott, remember that? Yeah, he actually thanked Cuomo. He's like, thank you for giving us all your money. Yes, because everyone was in Florida. You went there too?
Well, we were voluntold to go.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, yes. But yeah, it's true. There are two things. The first thing is, the simplest, make this state a better place. That takes time. But make this state a better place.
It was once.
It was. Yes, it was. And it wasn't the weather. It wasn't the weather. So making this state a better place so that people want to retire here. That's number one. And there's so many facets to that. I'm happy to take any of those you want. But making it a better place in general for people to stay. That's number one. But number two, how about we incentivize people to stay? How about we incentivize them to stay? Give them some tax break. Give them something to want to stay. Give them some opportunity to want to stay. Right now, we're not doing it. So before we make this state a better place, there should be a Band-Aid. I'd like some kind of Band-Aid. Are you thinking about leaving?
Oh, no.
Good. Thank you. Yes, good. Yes, good. Go ahead. Yes, please.
How are you going to go about repealing the SAFE Act with all the opposition you're going to get from the city?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's an important one. If you look right now at the Democrat plan to repeal the SAFE Act, there isn't one. Democrats love it. They want SAFE Act 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. They can't wait. They love SAFE Acts, and many of them as they can possibly get. The Republican plan, Non-existent. You can't get a Republican to give you any stance on it. What they'll do is say this. Oh, SAFE Act. Well, we might chip the edges, maybe try to dismantle school safety, mental health. That's what they'll do. They won't give an actual answer. I will have it repealed by 2020, and let me tell you how. It's a multi-pronged piece. It's not one answer, it's multiple things. First piece, I'll begin to pardon all the people who were convicted of SAFE Act offenses starting January 2019. There's about 1,000 people who've been convicted. Some of those people are bad guys, and they got an extra piece put on top of something else they did, like they robbed a liquor store and got a SAFE Act offense. They're staying in jail for robbing a liquor store. They just get the extra piece that gets removed. But there are people also in jail just for SAFE Act violations. And they are now literally violent felons because they had 11 rounds in their magazine versus 7. Yes, that's accurate, right? That's true. Those people get to go home and get their life back in order. They get pardoned. Now, once that happens, what's going to happen? You are going to find people all over me. Press, I'm the worst governor in the world. Democrats in the assembly, how evil are you? You're a tyrant. You're, of course, coming at me all day long. You're correct. And when they come at me, there's going to be a microphone in my face saying, how evil are you? How bad are you? And when they do that, I'm going to say things like this. Same thing I say to so many people who are on the left who think the SAFE Act is great. To be forward with you, most people who think the SAFE Act is great are ignorant. They don't know. It's literally this simple. It's SAFE Act says safe in it. And yes, and we haven't had a shooting in 5 years, so it worked. Done. That's as far as they think, and they move on. Nothing else. But then I tell them, do you know the SAFE Act actually made millions of New Yorkers criminals overnight? But it just made them, and I had someone actually tell me this. A woman actually said this to me. She goes, no, that's not true. Didn't the SAFE Act ban machine guns? Yes, you're laughing. She said that to me. Didn't the SAFE Act ban machine guns? And so what I said to her was, I'm glad you said that. Thank you for that, because now I can help educate you. Thank you for that. That's what I said to her. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. I said, in reality, it didn't ban machine guns. No. What it did is it made people violent felons because they had a piece of plastic that someone deemed evil on their firearm. She went, really? That's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. That's people who bought this firearm 100% legally, and then overnight they were criminals and violent felons. I said, but it's something else. It makes our medical personnel part of a secret state police that now have to report on people so that now the state police can buy and take their firearms. So things like, as an example, you get in a car accident, you're dragged into the emergency room, the nurse says, how do you feel? What's going on? You go, I'm in so much pain, I want to die. Suicidal. I'm not joking, that's actually happened. Now state police come, take your property. Whoa, how'd that happen? And here's the best part. No due process, no appeal process. Let me say it again. No due process, no appeals process. No compensation, nothing. Just I'm taking your stuff. That's it. When I tell them that, they go, wow, that's not fair. No, it's not. You're right. That's not fair. Yeah. And you see them start to change their minds on the SAFE Act. Then I'm saying something else. It affects our veterans more than non-veterans because veterans are more apt to have a firearm and more apt to have PTSD and trauma like that. TBI, those types of things. They're more apt to have that. So by percentage, you affect veterans more. But not just that. Veterans are often a community. So they tell each other, dude, don't go get help. They're going to take your pistols. Dude, don't go get help. They're going to take your rifles. Don't do it. You actually have a system now, which is bad, which is you have some veterans giving their friends, other veterans, their firearms. You heard about it? Yes, you certainly heard about it. They're actually saying, here, take my firearms. Take my pistols now, just take them. What did that guy just tell that fellow ret? He just said, last night I put my pistol in my mouth and didn't pull a trigger. That's what he just said to him. That's the reason why he's giving him his firearms. Because he had a pistol in his mouth last night and didn't pull a trigger. That's why he's doing it. That's what's happening now, and the SAFE Act makes a guy like that not get help. You tell people that, they go, wow, Wow, that's not good. Yeah, but it does something else. The SAFE Act also creates and enhances a black market. People now not talking about their weapons and firearms at all. Yeah, nothing, no. People selling ammunition. No, I'm not doing that, nothing. Which makes law enforcement's job even harder. SAFE Act is bad, 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 bad. When I say that, you find out people go, oh, why do we have it? So when they attack me, I will say that again and again and again and again. But not just that. I need you to be calling your assembly people saying, why are you doing this? Why SAFE Act? I heard what Governor Sharpe said. Why do we still have this? But not just that. When prosecutors stop prosecuting SAFE Act, I will still pardon those people. So the prosecutors will have no reason to actually prosecute. But let's say someone does anyway. I'm going to show Governor Sharpe and prosecute anyway. Great. I'm going to say, this prosecutor, you're a prosecutor now. Okay. This prosecutor, he decided to convict her of a SAFE Act violation, knowing that you're a bad person, yes, knowing that I was going to pardon him. This guy took $4,000 of your dollars to prosecute and threw it in the garbage. By the way, he's up for election. Let me do that once or twice, that ends. Now I'm going to tell law enforcement something else. Law enforcement, this is your lowest priority in enforcement. Lowest priority. The vast majority of law enforcement will be very happy about that. Most law enforcement does not want to enforce SAFE Act, right? No cadet in the academy was like, man, I can't wait till I can count bullets in someone's magazine. No one ever said that ever, right? They don't want to do that. They'll be very happy to hear that, very happy to do that, and that will change also. So by 2019, I'll take all the slings and arrows, I'll take all the attacks, and I'll just educate. Now 2020 comes, and I say, guys, repeal this now. You will have been calling. The left will no longer care. They will have become apathetic. That's fine, whatever, we don't care. And they'll see I will take the heat. Anything bad happens, it's on me. All the bad press came, I took it. It gets repealed. That's how you repeal it in 2020. That's not easy, but that's a real solid plan and it can work. Let me give you the Republican and Democrats' plan. Finished. There is no plan. Why do I fight so much on SAFE Act? I fight so hard on it because of this. If we let SAFE Act stay, red flag laws are next. Red flag laws are next. And for those of you who don't know red flag laws tell teachers to become a secret state police force also. They join. So now, he's a teacher. You're not a bad guy anymore. You're now his student. And you happen to like a TV show. And the TV show has FBI people in it. And you like one of the FBI agents, right? You think she's cool. She's 12. She thinks the FBI agent is cool. So you draw your FBI agent. You draw her, and she has a gun. And you draw it. And it says gun, FBI agent. You draw it. He sees it. Ooh, she drew a gun. Don't know. That could be a problem. So he goes to the judge and says, Judge, she's drawing a gun. I'm not sure. Judge goes, yeah, do it. Go to Dad's house. Take the firearms. That's called the red flag law. That's the next step. But here's the worst part about that. Once you start red flagging people and taking firearms, could be a problem in the house. What did you just do? You red flagged the household, period. You red flagged the household now. Now this is a troubled child in a household with firearms. The next step is taking your kids. That's the next step. No. I will not accept red flag laws. I will veto all of them. I will not accept red flag laws. I will veto all of them. It is the wrong answer. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I just wanted to add that it also puts police officers' lives in danger.
Yes.
That are going to enforce these laws, because one day they're going to stack up on a house and the guy's not going to turn the guns over.
And that's what I'm saying.
Fight back.
You've just hit my worst part. What happens if when they come to your house, you resist? 3 choices, all bad. You're going to jail, you're going to the hospital, or you're going to the morgue. Bad, bad, bad. There's no good answer for that one. You're right. And police officers, too, are either going to have to put you in one of those places, or they're going to the hospital, or they're going to the morgue. Bad, bad, bad. There is no good choice in that whatsoever. You are correct. I want to avoid that. I want to avoid that completely. You're correct. That's why I'm the only candidate who will get rid of SAFE Act. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, minimum wage is gonna go up to $50 an hour.
Yep.
And as much as that's gonna kill me,
Yep.
I understand that people have to make a living.
Yep.
I understand that a lot of my employees can't afford to have a car. I understand they can't get to work. They don't have health insurance. I mean, I understand. So even though it's going to hurt me, I understand the reason why that law is in effect. But all that is really going to do is going to increase my payroll taxes. Because you increase because right now I pay.
I hear you completely.
20% of whatever I pay my staff, another 20% of that money, if I pay my staff in a month $60,000 or $100,000, which is never going to happen, $20,000 of that goes to the government every month.
Yep.
So if they increase the minimum wage, that also increases the payroll tax.
Yes.
So I have no problem with keeping the minimum wage at a higher rate, but are we going to break on the payroll taxes? I mean, that just seems like I'm getting hit twice.
I don't like the government telling you how to pay your employees, period. And let me tell you what's really going to happen. I'm going to tell you the reality of it. Shops like this are going to go under. Moving forward, they're going to go under. How do we know it? What minimum wage does is it helps big business. That's what it does. It helps big business. We think it helps the little guy. It does not. How do you know that? Every single large company, whether they're a franchise company like McDonald's or Pizza Hut or whatever, any of those, franchise, which is a big company, or big companies like CVS or Walgreens or any of those, what do you see in all of those stores and restaurants?
Kiosks.
You got it, my friend, kiosks. Exactly right. They are already ready for this. They are ready to get rid of all their employees. They're already doing it. So they're very happy that minimum wage comes by, because when it does, they already get rid of employees. Have you gone now? That Pizza Hut, that's the new thing. There's a Pizza Hut or Domino's where there's not even someone in the store. You walk by and pick up your pizza by pressing a couple buttons and pull it out. You order up front, grab your pizza and pull it out. Right? You go to any place like a Friendly's or like a TGI Fridays. There's a kiosk on the desk already, on the table. Order through that, pay through that. That's happening already. So now the waitresses wind up becoming not waitresses, they wind up becoming busboys. Already happening. McDonald's, you walk in McDonald's, you can order through the kiosk already. It's already happening. You go to any CVS, Walgreens, all those places like that, right? What do you see? With the checkout, right? The self-checkout. That's a kiosk. That's all. They don't call it kiosk, they call it self-checkout. It's self-checkout. It's already happening. Minimum wage and getting ready to tip credit? Oh my God. What other disaster that is. God, that's so bad. We're just going to destroy small business. I will do my best to stop that. I will do my best to stop that, but it's a hard sell. Because what you said, it's tough.
I don't have a problem with the minimum wage going up. If I get it, I mean, I want my employees to have a living. I want them to stay because they can afford to stay.
Then if you want that,
I don't have to pay this crazy.
but hold on, here's my issue. If you want to pay your people more, you should pay them more. There shouldn't be a law forcing you to do that. That's my problem. I'm not saying you're wrong. If you want to pay your people more, you should pay them $1,000 an hour if you want to. That's up to you. I shouldn't be telling you anything. It's up to you. You should be doing whatever you think is appropriate. Now, when it comes to payroll tax, it's a valid issue. There are some things to worry about. A lot of that we can't do much about. A lot of that is state and federal mixed all over the place. It can be a problem. However, here's what we can do. When it comes to state payroll tax, we can do certain things to incentivize you to help out the community. For example, and this is stuff that people accept. What about if you hire someone who's a convicted felon? If you're a small business and you decide to hire a convicted felon, why can't I make you say, for example, pay no payroll tax for 2 years on that hire? That would help tremendously. What?
I've done it.
And that's what I'm saying. So why you should be paying no payroll tax for 2 years? You should do that. Why? Well, Larry, then people will just hire felons for 2 years and fire them. Good. You're training my felon population. That would be amazing. Please do that and giving them an actual resume and a chance at life. If you've dealt with felons before, you know what I'm going to tell you is true. If you hire a felon, Within 3 months, they're going to leave or steal, or they're not gonna. That's how it works. Within 3 months, they're going to leave or steal, or they're not gonna. And you have a very loyal employee. That's how it works. I know my mom was a felon. I get it. That's how it works. They're either going back or they're not. This gives you an opportunity. How about not just that? How about I give you a simplified tax code? A tax code where you don't have to actually pay an accountant if you didn't have to. A tax code where you're not going to get hit with fines and fees. How about on top of that, what I do is I make it to where you're paying workers' comp. You're not paying two types of workers' comp, which right now you are, right? You're paying for on the job and non-on the job. Why are you paying for non-on the job? If you tell someone to do something and they get hurt, that's your fault. You told me to do it. I got it. But if you didn't, why are you paying for it? That's that person being a knucklehead. It's not the business, not the problem. That goes away. That will cut your insurance down tremendously, right? But I'm not done. What if you're a local person, and this is a law that's already in Wyoming already, if you're selling locally and not outside of New York State, you're immune from all federal regulatory bodies. Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Wyoming already has that law. Not just that. How about the insurance board, which only New York has, we get rid of? The insurance board is literally hunting small businesses. You know it, it's predatory. It's hunting them almost to extinction. How about I do all of that? Wouldn't that help? Yes, that's what I want to do. Let me do all those things and then work on minimum wage and the tip credit. How about that? Is that fair? Awesome. Great. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead, please.
On the minimum wage, does anybody ever figure out when these people get a raise, which they should get, but $15 is not enough money to live on?
Yep.
You're not going to buy a car.
She agrees completely. She's like, you are right.
That's right.
You are right.
So, I mean, and then with this health care, it probably excludes them from being capable and eligible for health care.
Yes.
And this is Cuomo, he's very smart on that. Keep giving a minimum wage and raise it. It takes less people off the public welfare.
Yeah, but here's the other issue that we have to. Hi. I'm sorry, she's saying hi to me. Let me say hi to her real fast. She's saying hi.
Say hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, Larry.
How you
What's
doing?
going on, Larry?
How are you? Yeah? Is it too cold? My finger's too cold? It's cold outside.
Should I get
If
the
that
guidance?
kid was in
sorry.
Albany, they'd roll her to vote.
Yeah? How you doing? Yeah? No?
Should I like
Okay.
your facial hair?
Yeah? You like to go touch it? Go ahead, touch it. Go ahead.
Want to boop him?
You want to touch it? Go
Want
ahead.
to boop him?
Go ahead. You
No?
can. You want to?
She's like, no, put
You
me on
want
the
to?
spot, man.
Is that a no? Is that okay? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've been telling them the whole time. They just don't get it. Are we good?
She's digging you, so.
All right. Yeah, good. All righty, good. I'm sorry. I don't have little ones anymore, so I love little ones. I don't have them anymore. How are you? Good seeing you. Good to see you. Good. So. Oh, good. Thank you so much. So anyway, I'm sorry. When I see little girls, little babies, I always want to go say hi to little babies because mine are older now. Mine are 8 and 14, so I don't get to see the little ones anymore. So when I see them, I like to go say hi to them. Sorry, just who I am. I apologize. So anyway, I'm sorry. You were talking about minimum wage and health care. Here's the issue I want to make sure it's clear, and you made the same mistake, my friend. You said you don't have access to health care. See, she knows. In this country, across the country, and also New York, we've made a big mistake. We have confused, you see, she gets it, she knows, I'm serious, it's a serious issue. We have confused health care with health care insurance. They are two very separate things. Obamacare was not health care reform. Obamacare was health care insurance reform. Totally different. Health care didn't get any better or any worse, well, it probably got worse, with Obamacare. Health care insurance was affected. I'm with you. No, it's okay. You want to bring her up here? She's waving. Bring her up here. Come on. You want to come? Come on. Come on. I got you. I got you. Come on. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Oh, good. You ready to talk about some health care? Yeah? All right. So what we're talking about, you can tell I'm a dad because I'm swaying. That's how you know I'm a dad, right? The dad sway? We were talking about a sway, weren't we? We were just talking about a sway. Yes, it's the dad sway. You know, you've had girls, particularly little ones, when you got the dad sway. Keeps them calm all the time, the dad sway. Yes, I know that's what I'm saying. Here's the issue. Healthcare is still broken, and that's the problem. Is that right? It's all right, no worries. Healthcare is still broken. Healthcare is a cartel system, and that's the problem. We actually have people in a room right now who sit in a room and say, hey, how much for an aspirin? 85 bucks, 100 bucks, what do you think? Yeah, good, done. You've seen the billing. 100 bucks for aspirin, 25 bucks for the cup. 35 bucks, put aspirin in cup. Bring cup to person, 45 bucks. I mean, that's everything. You see it all the time. It's insane. It's a cartel system. The system right now is like this. All right, I do this all the time. You guys may enjoy this one. All right, you get a new job. You come to my store, and you want to buy clothes for the new job. So you buy clothes for your new job, and you can't believe this, can you?
No.
I know, yeah, you can't. Yeah, I know. This happens all the time. Babies like me. Babies like me, yes. So you go and you buy a bunch of new clothes, right? And I give you a bunch of new clothes. Yeah. You like new clothes? Me too. So we get a bunch of new clothes for you, and you get a nice outfit, you're loving it, and you go, Larry, thank you for this new clothes. How much does it cost? And I say, I don't know. What? I don't know. Well, this clothes is great. Clothes, they're perfect. Exactly the right outfit, new shoes, new everything. It's exactly perfect. How much does it cost? I don't know. What? Okay, tell you what. Go home. In a couple of weeks, you'll get a bill. Whatever that bill is, you got to pay. That's healthcare. Right? That's healthcare. That's horrible. It shouldn't be that way. Now here's healthcare insurance. You ready? All right. So you sell forks. What you sell? He sells forks. All right. So she wants to buy the fork. She wants to buy it for $1. You agree to sell it for $1. She agrees. Go ahead, give it a fork. No, I'm insurance. I decided no. This fork is not worth $1. I decide it's worth 50 cents. I give you 50 cents. And then give her the fork. She doesn't want it anyway. All right, so what? But as I said, you sell forks. Now she wants to buy a fork from you, right? But she doesn't have insurance. She has no insurance, so I can't get involved. How much you want to sell a fork to her for? $1. Why? You lost 50 cents on her.
More money for me.
How much you want to sell the fork for? See, she knows it's wrong. You're messing up. How much did she sell the fork for? $1.50 or $2 to make up for what he lost on me. So now you pay 3 times what she paid. How's that fair? That's health care. Obamacare didn't touch that. Medicaid doesn't touch that. No one touches that. I'm the one talking about touching that. When you fix that, now you can fix healthcare insurance. And I know that sounds really weird and odd, but that's reality. How do you fix healthcare? Yeah, okay. Transparency is how you fix healthcare. Transparency. Number one, you're very simple. All you do is say, everything that's sold in healthcare in this state right now must be transparent and sold like anything else. That will take 6 months or 9 months or a year, whatever I decide is the right number. Boom. After this date, it must happen. Oh my God, will there be hellfire. There will be lawsuits and people mad at me and everything. But what will happen again? I get to educate and do exactly what I just did to every single New Yorker, and they will see how broken this system is, and we will fix the cartel system. It has to be repaired at the root. How do I know this will work? Every type of medical procedure and medical service that is non-essential, it's happened with. See? Whether that is LASIK eye surgery, whether that is a cosmetic dentistry, whether that is body enhancements, liposuction, anything. Here's a common thread. Service goes up, technology goes up, pricing goes down. Every single time without exception. Those of you who have some gray hair like me might remember, there was a time when LASIK eye surgery, per eye. They used to charge per eye. It was so expensive. Yeah, per eye. Now everybody gets it. What happened? As you open it up, more people get it, more people start doing it, you open this up and things are repaired and get better and better and better. But we have another problem in our healthcare system, and those of you guys might know it. If anyone's in the actual healthcare system, it's hard to get doctors. It's hard to get nurses. Fight, and now we have them, and guess what? They're great. See? They're amazing. I love them like there's no tomorrow. It has helped us so much to have better service and better care. More people easier getting into our field. But not just that. Do you know if you're a doctor in like Massachusetts, you can't be a doctor in New York State without going to the New York State's exam? What is Massachusetts, Somalia? This is silly. This is backward. Not just that. You want to put a medical facility someplace, you need a certificate of need. The government has to decide if the community needs it. Not the community, the government. Wow, that's stupid. Nothing but bad, bad, bad. So you asked a very important question. It doesn't take one fix. It takes multiple fixes to make it to where the system is no longer broken. Yes, she hates it too. To make sure the system is broken. If the system's not broken, we then can make everything a whole lot cheaper, and now you'll find that insurance will be a whole lot easier. Now that's a lot to do, I know, but no one else even talks about it. Unless you've heard me speak, you haven't heard what I just said. Because no one else talks about it. I'm the only one. This is what I'm talking about. Did that make sense at least? Good. All right. Any other questions or comments? What do you think? Are we good? No?
Do you think that people that commit victimless crimes should go to prison?
No, I do not. At all. 100%. Here's an issue. We need real prison reform, real criminal justice reform, which isn't just going, let's let everybody out. That is not the answer. It is doing several things. Number one, it's making sure that when people go in, you never go in for a possession crime. You shouldn't go to jail because you have a plant in your pocket. Now, did you rob someone to get that plant? Go to jail, it's a crime. Did you hurt someone to get that plant? Go to jail, it's a crime. But if you hurt someone for any reason, or rob someone for any reason, it's a crime. I don't care, it's because you wanted to get a plant. Doesn't matter to me. So if you have a possession, that should never be a crime. Does that make sense? If you have an addiction problem, that's an addiction problem. If we find people earlier before they hit rock bottom, they rarely commit crimes. If you've known an addict in your life, you had one in your life, I've had one in my life. Addicts almost never, there's some exceptions, but they almost never go to crime right away. They rarely do. They go to everything else first. They beg, they borrow, they sell, they hide, they do all those things, they take out loans, they do all those things before they go to crime. If we can catch them before the crime hits, we have a chance at saving them. And that's what I want. I want to catch them before they go to crime. Does that make sense? But it isn't the end. We have to actually fix the prison system itself. It's broken. And part of it's broken because it's black and white thinking. That's the idea that prison right now who are really bad people and should probably never get out. And there are people in prison now who've made a mistake, should pay their debt to society, and when they're done, they should have a second chance at life. And people probably shouldn't be in jail at all. All three of those exist. The issue is, I don't really know which ones are which. And not just that, those who went in for no reason, some of them have been in for a long time. And while they weren't violent then, they are violent now. And that's our fault. Still a problem though. How do I fix that? I use the people who are there. The COs, they're there. Do you want to go see mommy now? Is that a yes? Okay, here we go. You good? All right. She had enough of me. No worries. There we go. There's mommy. There we go. Thank you. Yes. So since I don't know which ones are which, here's what I know. I can use the COs to find that out. The problem is right now the governor is really anti-law enforcement. Some of you, anybody in law enforcement? Nobody here, okay. If you know anybody in law enforcement, ask them. The governor right now is very anti-law enforcement right now. In fact, when it comes to corrections officers, he hasn't given them a contract in 3 years. The average lifespan for a corrections officer is 58 years old. Yes, 58. Not just that, every CO I meet knows someone who's an alcoholic.
He gave the troopers a big raise.
Well, there is personal guard.
135,000.
Yep, but there is personal guard. So of course he gives his personal guard what he wants, yes. Yeah, and they enforce the SAFE Act. Nice, yes, exactly right, yes. All the COs also, they know someone who's committed suicide. Yes, it is a horrible, horrible world they're living in right now, and we're not helping them at all. And whenever there's a problem, what do? We bring outsiders in to try to fix the problem with grants and federal ideas and funds. No, every COO I met tells me things like, I'm already this guy's counselor. No. Thank you. I'm this guy's therapist. I help these guys out already. We can actually use the COs to help us. Give them a contract and have them help us. How do I know this? There's a program right now in Massachusetts called the Humvee program. This allows 2 COs and a whole bunch of volunteers together to put the right people in what's kind of a SEPS program, a separations program. A certain community that they believe that they will work. In this case, it's military, it's veterans. They put them in a certain area. The COs help to guide it, and volunteers come in, and they give them a chance at figuring out how to get out on life, right? The people make errors. She loves it. Thank you. Yes. Out on life. I'm in. Yes, absolutely. A second chance at life. If the people start messing up, COs know how to rouse them, handle them, put them back in. COs help pick the right people because they know which ones have a right chance which is getting out. The recidivism rate in Massachusetts is 75%. This program, 5%. Huge difference. And guess what? Guess how many new people we have to hire? 0. Yes, you're excited. 0. No new people. No extra money. No extra budget. Just the existing COs and volunteers. This can work. It's already working. And it can be multiple different types of people who do it, different types of communities. Who will tell me what communities? The corrections officers who work with them. Will corrections officers want to do this? Yes. All the time I hear COs tell me, the older ones, usually guys with gray hair like me, they say, Larry, I'm too old to be rolling on the floor with these guys. Great. Help me run my unit. Help me run my reform unit. Do that instead. And they're like, yes, I will happily do it. Voluntary, so it's good with unions. Voluntary, so they want to do it. No extra money being paid. No extra outsiders coming in. And we get better results and happier people. Now, to your point, those people shouldn't be in prison. Should I let them out right away? In theory, I should. But in reality, I probably can't. And there are a couple reasons why. Number one, some of those people were not violent when they went in, but they are violent now. And that's horrible, and that's our fault, and still true. So I have to create a separations program for them too. I call it a SEPS program because as a veteran, when you come out of combat, the military is supposed to give you an area, a time, where they get you to separate to come from combat to regular world. Military is terrible at doing it. The Humvee program in Massachusetts is good at doing it. I want to copy that model for people who were nonviolent but have become violent and how to get them out into the world. Plus, if I just let them all out, I let 5,000 people out into the world right away, they're not going to be able to survive. They're not going to find jobs. They're going to collapse. They're going to go back to crime. They're going to be right back in jail. I think it's cruel. So I want them out. I'll get them out. Just not like that. Not just that, bail. Bail is a big issue. A lot of people go to jail because of cash bail because they're poor. You shouldn't be going to jail because you're poor. It's the wrong reason. How do you handle it? There are some people who are actual flight risks. I get it. Guess what? Ankle brace. Maybe he's not a crazed husband. Maybe it's just an angry wife. Maybe there's no proof that he's a bad guy at all. I have an idea. Put an ankle bracelet on him. If he comes within 1,000 feet of the wife, 911 is called. That actually saves the wife if he actually is a bad guy. If you give him a restraining order, he rips it up and goes beats his wife anyway. That happens all the time. I'm not being cruel. I'm telling you the truth. If you know this, a woman in this country is killed every day by her lover. That's a real fear. That's a real thing. So how about we put ankle bracelets on these guys? They come near their woman, boom, 911. Now she's actually safe. A whole different issue. We do that instead. We can still keep people who are flight risks, or still people who we may not be sure if they're violent or not. We can still find an answer without putting someone to go to jail because they're poor. What you're saying is, if I'm rich, I can pay the money and beat my wife up. That's what you're saying. No, nobody should beat their spouse up, and their wife. Don't beat your husband up either. Nobody should beat anybody up. And we can stop that with an ankle bracelet. I know that was kind of long-winded, but did I answer your question? Awesome, good. Any other question? Go ahead, please.
What's your position on bringing back the death penalty in lieu of
I'm 100% against the death penalty. The death penalty is, I don't trust the government to kill citizens. I just don't. The last time they did a moratorium on this, I think this was Illinois, if not mistaken, they did an actual study on this, and up to 20% of the people on death row were innocent. 20% were innocent. I do not trust the government to kill its citizens, period. I don't. Go ahead, please.
For legalizing marijuana,
Yep.
would we tax it?
Yes.
Okay.
Legalizing marijuana, we would not tax it. No.
Wouldn't tax it.
No, I want to treat hemp and marijuana together like onions. Yeah, she gets it. Like onions. Absolutely. I want to make sure that and there's a reason why. The number one reason why, believe it or not, is farmers. Farmers are actually starving and struggling in this state horribly. In fact, there's a rash of suicides in farmers. You guys may not know this. Huge. I talk about suicide a lot, I'm sorry. The problem is there's been a 30% increase in suicides throughout this entire country since the year 2000, to include New York State. There's a lot of suicide going on. A lot of people who are deciding the only way out is death. I'm not okay with that. I'm just not okay with it. So, you know what I'm going to do? Allow a farmer to decide if they want to grow hemp or marijuana. Whatever they want to do. If they want to, it's their choice. I'm not a farmer. I don't know that. If you're a farmer, you'll figure it out. Here's what happens. Farmers now, if you make it highly regulated and highly taxed, here's what I promise you. Big business wins, small business loses. How do we know that? It's already happening. California, Colorado, Washington, already happening. I was at a cannabis investment summit in Manhattan about 3 weeks ago. Hundreds of millions of dollars being invested. Guess how much in New York State? Zero. Not one. All to other states or other countries. We're losing that investment in our farmers right now. I want a farmer to be able to just decide tomorrow, I want to grow hemp or cannabis. But to also help farmers, on top of that, I want to treat farmers like small businesses. So they have lower rates on workers' comp, lower rates on insurance, and they can get small business loans. So now what can they do? They can now create craft grows, craft hemp, hempcrete, hemp plastic, right? Hemp rope, hemp cloth. Will that work? It's already working with the beer industry. Have you seen the beer industry in the state? It's amazing. Craft grows, craft brews, now craft grows. Also cannabis, craft cannabis grows, right? Specialized cannabis. Go ahead, please do it. What we'll do is we'll create a huge amount of investment and we'll make a whole lot of farmers all of a sudden start growing. And those people who are in New York City, they'll start investing in farms up here. Happily, without any extra government money, no extra taxes. That will begin to happen. But I'm still not done. On top of that, we have a lot of people in this state, 100,000 or more, who have chronic pain. Chronic pain stops you from living your life, stops you from being happy. I'm not okay with that. I want to make sure that people who want to use a cannabis product may. I have people right now who will tell me, Larry, I hope you make marijuana legal. Why? Because I want to smoke it at night before I go to bed, and right now I have my son buy it. I don't want him going to jail. So your choice is, your son goes to jail, or you suffer, or you use an opioid. An opioid. 80% of all of our addicts, because of an FDA-approved opioid prescription for pain. Why in the world would I increase that in any way, shape, or form? Use a cannabis product. Use an edible or a liquid or a cigarette or whatever's your thing. I don't care. Do it if you want to. I don't mind. If it makes you happy, go ahead. But Larry, I don't have much money. I said onions. What does that mean? Can you grow onions in your backyard? Of course you can. Grow your medicine in your backyard if you want to. Live your life and be happy. Hang out with your family and friends. Do things that you want to do. Don't let chronic pain stop you. And because you're poor, it doesn't mean you can't be happy. So instead, grow your medicine in your backyard. I don't really mind. But more important than that, if you start having it to where there's lots of licensing, now what also happens? The people who are selling it, the distributors, are only going to be big business. That's what's happening now. I want a local dispensary. Local. Not just that those people we pull out of jail who are for possession. These guys know the industry. They now have an industry to be in. They can now start businesses. They know the industry. They used to sell weed. Yes.
And they'll keep all their customers.
And they know customers. Yes. Boom. They can start. More and more business in dispensaries. More and more business in farming. People who actually have less pain. Win, win, win. But I add hemp because hemp is also good for other products, good for our environment, good for many things. That's why I want to do it. If you start going too high in taxation, and you find that already in Colorado and California, you retain a black market. I don't want a black market. I don't want you having, there's your dispensary, and around the corner, there's a drug dealer. And that's happening now.
Yes.
I don't want it to happen. So no, I will not tax it. No, I will not do that. I will treat it like anything else, like onions, with one exception, obviously. 18 years or older to purchase. That's it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, but I have another question that kind of goes along with it.
Go ahead.
So Hawaii legalized marijuana. I don't know if they did medicinal or
Probably medicinal, I think.
but you can't have guns.
You what?
You can't have guns.
Yep.
How would you combat that?
Yeah, the issue is federally that's still true. To be forward with you guys, I don't think that you having you using a cannabis product and losing your Second Amendment rights, to me, is a travesty. It should not happen, right? When you can drink and still have your Second Amendment rights, now you can't smoke marijuana and have Second Amendment rights? Doesn't make any sense. You can literally take opioids that are prescription drugs and keep your Second Amendment rights, but you smoke weed and you can't? It's horrible. In New York State, that will not exist. But to be forward with you, that will still exist federally.
Yes.
And if you go on the list, if you go on the list, you're not going to be able to buy firearms if you use cannabis. That's true. It's going to happen. So here's my advice. My advice is buy all your firearms first. Then, I'm being forward with you. Purchase your firearms first, and then wait a couple of years. Because once New York goes to cannabis like onions, within 5 years, the nation will. Within 5 years, the nation will. I'm sorry?
For the cool kid.
Yes, that's correct. California went. When New York goes next, the nation goes in 5 years. That's how it works. So purchase the firearms you want now, then use your cannabis products, wait 5 years, you'll be fine.
Another question.
Wow, okay, she's not playing games. But did I answer that one?
Yes, you did.
Good, okay, yes.
Are you going to open up reciprocity with other states?
I love the reciprocity idea. The odds of me being able to do it up to bat are not good. Can I do it within 4 years? Maybe. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Within 8, for sure. The state is simply too anti-2A right now. It just is. That's the way it is. You guys may not know this. If you take your firearm to New York City, legally owned, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. Yeah, you're going to jail. I want to make it to where, there's just some laws I have to pass first before I can get there. One is universal transportation laws. It should be a bare minimum that if you take your legally owned firearm and it is both locked and unloaded in any county, you don't go to jail. Now, if a county wants to have more lax rules, I'm fine with that. But that should be the bare minimum. If it's locked and unloaded, it should be fine. But there's another part I have to add to that. 2 more parts I have to add to that. The first one is loaded. In New York State, the definition of loaded is ammunition in the vicinity of the firearm. Yes. So literally I have my firearm here, laying here, unloaded, a box of ammunition here. That firearm is loaded. Yes, New York State law, that is a loaded firearm. Yes, and who decides? The arresting officer. What vicinity is. Yes, that's who decides. The arresting officer decides what vicinity is. I think that's vicinity, loaded weapon. So I'm going to change the definition. It's going to sound crazy. The definition will become bullets in the gun. I know, crazy. Yes, that'll be the definition. But I'm still not done. If I draw that firearm in an attempt to stop a crime, you decide you're going to go stab her. Right? You're going to stab her, right? You've been bad today, have you? You've been a bad guy today. Yeah, okay. I draw my firearm and say, don't stab her. I do that. If you don't stab her, I go to jail, you don't. That's correct. I brandished my weapon. That's correct. If I
Concealed carry in New York State.
yes, and I draw my weapon and I say to her, I draw my firearm and say, don't stab her. If she doesn't stab her, I'm going to jail. She's not.
So then you stab her.
I should stab her. I should stab her. I should. Yes, I should stab her. To be forward, if I stab her in an attempt to stop the stabbing, I probably won't go to jail. So you're right. I should stab her instead. I should keep it, grab a knife, and try to stab her. I probably won't go to jail. You're right. There's no brandishing of a steak knife. So yes, I have to stop that law too and say a special rule. If you draw your firearm in an attempt to stop a crime, you don't get prosecuted. Let me do that first, then we'll talk about reciprocity. Can I do that first? There are certain things I have to do that just get us out of where we are before I can get there. Yes, we are deep. Yes, she doesn't love it, she hates it. Yes. Does that make sense? Any other comments or questions? Go ahead, please. No, go ahead, yeah.
You touched on it a little bit earlier. New York State right now has like a farm brewery, farm distillery. Do you have plans to encourage other types of farm businesses?
100%. I say it all the time. Again, I said with hemp and cannabis, but also our dairy farmers. Right? Dairy farmers being killed also. I mean, they're really getting hammered in the state. So I want dairy farmers, again, to be treated like small businesses so that we can get SBA loans, so that we can have investments and we can start craft ice cream, craft cheese, craft yogurts. If we have craft ice cream, cheese, and yogurts, several things happen. For those of you who don't know about the dairy industry, some of you probably do, some of you don't. The dairy industry right now is basically a price taker versus a price maker. The market says there's X number of dollars for X pounds of milk, and they get that.
$14 a hundred.
Whatever it is, yep, boom, they get that. That's it. Now here's the problem. If the Chinese don't love our cheese all of a sudden, and there's too much milk on the market, we get hammered. That's not a viable business model. That doesn't work. And a lot of farmers are really struggling. But if you instead said, I'm not going to put my milk on the market, I'm going to do several things. One, if you want to sell raw milk in a lot of the shops in New York, you may. It is not my decision on whether you should drink raw milk or not. It is your decision whether you want to drink raw milk or not. If the consumer wants to buy raw milk, the consumer should be able to buy raw milk. The only thing I'll say is that farm needs to not sell outside of New York State. If they sell outside of New York State, they're going to have to fall under federal regulatory bodies. If they sell locally, they don't have to. I will make that rule. They don't have to fall under the federal regulatory bodies. Stamp it, non-FDA approved. You want raw milk, enjoy. Not just that. Again, craft yogurt, craft ice cream, craft cheeses. What will happen? That will by default pull milk off the market because it'll be in cheeses, it'll be in craft products. The craft products are exciting and new. What will that do? That will bring the youth back. How do I know that? That's what happened in the beer industry. It brought the youth back. It already happened. Not just that, it'll bring an investment. How do I know that? That's what happened in the beer industry. So people will start investing in that cool stuff. When that begins to happen, there'll be less milk on the market. When there's less milk on the market, the price goes up. So without question, it will assist those who want to do craft, and it will also assist those who just want to put milk on the market. Did I answer your question? Yes. So every single thing that I can do craft in New York State, I want to do. My worry is we already dominate the milk too much, and if we try to do it with hemp and cannabis, the odds are California is going to beat us. They've got several years ahead of us in becoming massive grows. So I'd rather have craft grows that we can beat them because, one, we're good at it, and we have a culture for it. Did I answer your question? Awesome.
Thank you.
Any other question or comment? Please.
What's your thoughts on the education system?
Our education system needs to have an absolute reboot from scratch. It is a total and absolute disaster. It is embarrassing. Some of you, do any of you know my education policy? Oh, most don't. Awesome. Okay, good. Oh, I love this. I'll tell it to this all day long. All right, yes. We need to do many things. Number one, we need to end all standardized testing until high school. Standardized testing is nothing but a bad thing. Yes, it is an unfair way of grading teachers. It is an unfair way of rewarding schools. And it is no indication of success for children at that age. High school does help. Prior to high school does not help in any way, shape, or form. And it makes kids who are 10, 11, and 12 years old feel stupid if they can't take tests well. So it creates an underclass of student. Shame on us for even having that. But when we do that, two things will happen. Number one, we'll lose Common Core. Good, don't care, let it go away. Don't care. Yes, let it go. Next, we will lose federal funding. Federal funding is a relatively big deal. Our entire budget is about $60 billion. Federal funds are about $4 billion. We will lose $4 billion. That will go away. That's okay. Keep that number in your head. Because not just that, we lose $4 billion, we also lose all the strings attached. What does that mean? We get to lose administrators. Lots of them. All the people who are holding everything down and doing the regulatory bodies, all those regulatory things, we're going to lose a bunch of them. We have massive teacher burnout. If you were a teacher, you know, massive burnout. What do they all complain about? Too much regulation, too much paperwork, too much double checking, too much check boxing, too much. And they leave. You get rid of that. The average administrator makes over $150,000. The average teacher makes about $80,000. You can dump 2 or 3 administrators easily and hire 2 or 3 teachers and give them raises or give them more stuff or buy more books or buy more computers or whatever's required. Here's what I'm telling you. I will not decide that. The district will. But I'm not even done with that. K through 12 is an anachronism. It should not exist anymore. We should have K through 10. Why? The last 2 years of school, and if you've been to school recently, you know this, the last 2 years, gym, study hall, video games, smoking weed. That's it. He's got his thumbs up. He's like, yep, that's what it was. Yes, absolutely. That's what it is for too many kids. It is a waste of time. How do I know that? Here's how I know it. Because you see kids going to college now, the first year, 13th grade. Yep, it's a reboot of high school because we're not ready. Why? Because we've been screwing around for 2 years before we went to college. Doesn't work. Not just that, it takes 6 years to graduate college now as an average, if we even graduate. We have the lowest graduation rates we had in years. So what does that mean? All of a sudden now you got a kid who's 24 years old, never had a job, and we wonder, why do they have no work ethic? I wonder why. Horrible. We can't have that happen. But you might say, well, Larry, they have BOCES. They do have BOCES. I agree completely. But it's a problem with BOCES. The image of BOCES is terrible. You can't get a guidance counselor or teacher to tell you to go to BOCES. They say things like this: you're better than BOCES. Shame on us for that. They make BOCES for the dumb kids or for the bad kids. Terrible. We should be embarrassed that that's true. We need tradesmen in this state desperately. Desperately. The average tradesperson in this state is 50. Horrible. Don't get me wrong, I'm 50. I like my 50-year-olds. I'm 50. But that should not be the average. The average should be 30, 35. 50-year-olds should be training the youngsters on how to get stuff done. They should be teaching and mentoring. They can't. There's not enough of them. It doesn't work. You know how many people tell me I would expand if I could only find the right talent? All the time. Doesn't exist here. It's a problem. We have to fix it. But Larry, what about going to college? Great, college can be good, but here's the problem. We've been told a lie. The lie is the only way to success is to get a Regents diploma from high school. Regents diploma means absolutely nothing. It is useless. It means zero. It is a waste of time. No one ever did this. Resume, Regents diploma, oh my God, you're hired. That's never happened ever. Am I right? Yes, she knows. Never happened ever. So what do we do instead? Somebody's jealous. All right, so never happened ever. So we told this and then have to go to college to get a great degree. Now I got a kid who's 24 years old with a degree that has no value, can't find a job, $100,000 in debt, and they have to work as a barista because there's nothing else in their area to do it. And they can't afford to pay back their loans. They turn socialist or worse at 27, 28, get a government job, or 27, 28, go back home, or 27, 28, decide they want to build houses. Either way, we just stole 10 years of their life. Either way, that's bad. All three of those options, bad. We just stole 10 years of their life. Now the BOCES kid, the bad kid goes to BOCES. The bad kid becomes a plumber. Now they're 24 years old. They make at least 80K, if not more, and they have no debt. I want to be the bad kid. What do we do instead? At K10, here's what we do. Once you're in 10th grade, take a test. If you pass your test, you want to grab her? Okay, good. Go ahead. Yeah. If you pass your test, you get a diploma. You're done. Now you have a couple choices. Option 1, you think college is right for you. All good. Go to a prep school. 2-year prep school. Prepare yourself for college. History, science, English, whatever, biology, whatever you want. You want to go to college. Good for you. Take 2 years, prep for it, so you're ready for college. Now you're ready for college. You can graduate in 3 years. You can take advantage of internships. You take advantage of incubators. Get some real on-the-ground experience and be ready to rock and roll. You want to do that? No worries. Instead, you're the smart kid. You're the kid who's so smart, you can pass every test. You're the book smart kid. Awesome. Take your SATs. Go get an associate's degree now. You're going to be a scientist anyway. Go do it. Start building your rocket ship right now. Go and do it. Awesome. You're not that. You're like, you know what? I don't like school. Okay, another idea. How about this? Go to trade school. Go become a plumber. Go become a carpenter. Go become a HVAC guy, whatever. Now you're 18 years old. You have two choices. One, either you have a license or an apprenticeship, depending upon what you're doing. You're ready to go off and work at 18. Life is good. You don't like that? No worries. Go get a job. Go work. You can work at 16. I did. You can work at 16. Go get a work ethic at 16. Learn what it means to have a boss. Learn what it means that when your boss says show up at 8, she doesn't mean 9:30. She meant 8. That's why she said 8. In fact, you know what she actually meant? She meant 7:45. That's what she really meant. The sad part is I find so many people who will tell me, Larry, I'll hire anybody with a work ethic. Anybody with a work ethic. Anybody. No matter what. But not just that. They tell me this. I say, tell them to come at 8. I open the door. If they're there, they're hired. They showed up, they're hired. Get a work ethic now. Then we'll get 2 complaints. The first one is, Larry, they're 16 years old. I know. Good. Make all your mistakes now at 16. The price for failure at 16 is very low compared to the price of failure at 26. Fail at 16. Mom and dad are still there. Fail at 16. You can learn your mistakes. By the time you're 26, you got a good plan of what you're doing. You're rocking and rolling. I don't have a problem with that. But another other problem we have a problem in this country, not just New York State, the entire country. If you ask most 20-year-olds, 20-somethings, do they feel like an adult? Over half will say no. There's a thing now called adulting. It's pretending to be an adult. You hate it, right? But you know it's true. I didn't make that up. That's true. That's a thing now. Let's go adulting because we got to act like we're adults because we don't feel like adults. That's happening now. I can't change parenting, but I can change the environment, and I will. Start when you're 16. Start doing stuff now, making decisions. Next thing, Larry, how are you going to pay for it? I'll tell you how you pay for it. I was a Marine. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I got a GI Bill. The GI Bill said, Larry, you get X dollars for Y years. Good luck. Go get educated. We'll do the same thing. Same thing we're going to do. Same thing. All the kids sitting at, the government will pay $20,000 up to 7 years. Good luck. What will happen? Here's what I promise you. There'll be a bunch of prep schools that will pop up. Guess how much those prep schools will cost in tuition for 2 years? $20,000. Then a bunch of trade schools will pop up. Guess how much those trade schools will charge for 2 years? $20,000. How do I know they'll pop up? Because they're going to get $20,000 in guaranteed government money. What do banks love? Guaranteed government money. Yes, they do. So they'll give loans. So you'll get loans to build these schools out. Of course you will. So when that begins to happen, how much are we paying per child per year? $10,000. What do we pay right now? 23. I thought 22. 23?
I think it's 23.
I'm going to say 22 because it fits my narrative better. But it might be 23, which is even worse. So I'm going to say 22. 22,000, which we were saving $12,000 per kid. There are about 400,000 11th and 12th graders. Do the math. That's over $4 billion. I just made up all the federal funds and still provided a surplus to every single school district. Every school district gets a surplus. We don't need federal funds. Administrators go away, so teachers can actually teach. Everyone says that, but no one does anything to make that happen. I do. I believe teachers should actually teach. I will let them teach. But here's the best part of it all. Happier students. Think about it. 11th and 12th grade. You're a teacher. Every single kid in your class wants to be there. You're a student. Every single student in that class wants to be there. What happens to bullying? Goes away. What happens to the kid who's mad he's in school and wants to beat somebody up? Goes away. He's not in that class. He's not in that school. He didn't pick that school. He picks the school. What happens to sad kids who want to shoot each other? What happens to sad kids who want to commit suicide? You know what's killing our children? It's not guns. Lack of community, lack of purpose, and loneliness. Now I got kids in the 12th and 11th grade who have community, who have purpose, who aren't lonely. I can't go kill somebody today because my teacher needs me because they're building a rocket ship. I can't go kill someone today because I have a job on a farm and the tractor's broken. I have purpose. I have community. I want to make sure I have a future. changes everything. That is my education plan. And that's a plan that will work, will save money, and make everybody happier. Whose question was that, by the way? Was that yours? I'm sorry, I was long-winded. Did I answer it? Awesome. There we go. Good. That's how we fix education. Go ahead.
How about ICE in sanctuary cities?
Yes, people tell me all the time. Oh my God, yes. People yell at me all the time and say, Larry, you're for sanctuary cities. That is absolutely not true. The two people running against me absolutely are. They are both on the record and are for sanctuary cities. The Republican actually in his county, he literally had an interview where he said he wanted his county to remain a sanctuary city. So they're about sanctuary cities. Here's the problem. I want to be very clear about this. Every plan I gave you has flaws. It's not perfect. There will be things you'll have to fix and shift and adjust as we move forward, absolutely. And I am open to shifting and fixing any of them. I'm asking you, do not, please don't, measure my plan against perfection. I will lose every time. Instead, measure my plan against the status quo. If you like my education plan but think it's not perfect, awesome, let's fix it. But don't measure it against perfection, measure it against the current system, which is more money, more money, more money in a broken system. What you will hear from Democrats is fund. What you hear from Republicans is invest. What those words mean are more taxes from you. Every plan I give you, there are no extra taxes, no extra money, and better service. You've never heard me do anything that raises taxes. Why do I say that? My sanctuary city policy is not perfect. It isn't. If we do nothing, the status quo, New York State is going to become a sanctuary state. That's going to happen. California's done it. New York State will do it right behind. They will become a sanctuary state. I don't want that to happen. But I have a problem. New York City is going to be a sanctuary city. And people get mad at me. But it's the law. You're right. It doesn't matter. But they're illegal. You're right. It doesn't matter. New York City fights New York State now, and they're the same party. De Blasio, the mayor of New York City, beats Cuomo all the time. They're the same party. Why? New York City is the biggest city in the entire nation by far, by more than double. New York City has political and financial power that no other city can match, period. That's unfair and true. New York City gives ID cards to undocumented immigrants, to illegals. Gives ID cards out already. They are not going to become a non-sanctuary city, period. Thinking anything else is simply a fantasy. It's not going to happen. You can get mad at me if you want to and shake your fist and say, but it's wrong. And you're going to have a sanctuary state. Or you can follow me, and here's what I will do. I will make sure that each county can decide how it wants to deal with sanctuary status on its own. What does that mean? Your Suffolk County, you have an MS-13 problem, you might want to fund ICE. I don't know that. Local law enforcement will decide if that's true or not. You will decide how you deal with that. You might want to actually physically fund ICE. You might want to ask for state troopers. You might want to. You tell me, your local law enforcement. I agree. Nassau County next to it may go, you know what? We have a similar problem. We want to copy Suffolk. Or we may not. As long as you are transparent, I'm okay. And we will figure out what is the right way to deal with that. But not just that. You have different immigration issues in farmland than you do down in the cities. Different immigration issues. They may decide to be more lenient on some migrant workers. They may not. Farmers may go out of business without that. They may not. As long as you are transparent, I'm okay with that because I'm going to see what's happening. You do that, what will happen? Regions will have separate ideas, counties will have separate ideas, and immigrants will flow to more friendly places like New York City. That's what will happen. That is not the perfect answer. It's the only way to stop a sanctuary state. Did I answer your question at least?
Yes.
Good. Excellent. Good. Any other question or comment?
You know what? It sounds like you're going back to the 60s, and I love it.
Oh, I like that. Good. There we go. All right. So, guys, let me leave you with this if I could. I will leave you with a couple things. Number one, if you like what you're hearing and you want to make a change, I need your support. And there are several ways I can get you the support. The number one thing I need is name recognition. Number one over everything. Number one, tell people about, she got the hands up. Number one, do it again. Number one, yes. I want to make sure that I get name recognition. So tell your friends, family, co-workers about this campaign. If you're online, share everything I put out online. If you spend time online, you find an article about New York State. Do me a favor, put my name in the comments. Do that. Let people know that I'm running, that I'm doing this. Do that. It's important. Go out of your way to share and let people know. If you can buy a t-shirt, if you can buy a sign and put one out or wear a t-shirt, please do that. That matters. If you can donate, please donate. I say that because I give to my own campaign. I am my third largest donor. I've given over $10,000 to my own campaign of my own money. I'm serious. If you're in a position to donate, please donate. If you can give 100, 500, 200, whatever you can do, donate online, lotterysharpe.com, or donate here, pick up a shirt and make a donation. Whatever you like, if you can donate, donate. No matter what, get the name out. That's what matters. No matter what, get the name out. The last thing I'll say, if you do what we've been doing for the past 16 years, we will get the same result. The Democrats have run this state for 16 years, and they're responsible directly for the spiral that's in. But the Republicans have sat by and watched it too, and they have no plan, and they have no movement. I've been doing this 1 year. I have a plan and a movement. They have no excuse. Why in the world, as a Democrat, would you reward that bad behavior? But why in the world, as a Republican, would you reward that bad behavior? You should not do that. If you do that, blue will come in first, red will come in second, no change. But if you don't, and you actually vote gold this year, if you vote Libertarian this year in the governor's race, here's what I promise you, you will have change. Because either I'll win, I'll come in first. I'll win, I'll start these processes right now. We'll do it together. You and I, we'll begin to fix this thing. Or I'll come in second, in which case, I'll get a microphone in my face every single day. Larry Sharpe, how did you do it? And I will spend all my time saying, because I talked about things that mattered. I talked about all the things we discussed today. I talked about all of them. And I will keep educating, and we'll still have change, just a bit slower. Either way, we have change. So, LarrySharpe.com, that's Larry Sharpe with an E, and the E stands for electable. Thank you, guys. I'm here for selfies. Thank you. Is that yours? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.